Hey guys, it's Slashoom. I make video guides for Wrath of the Lich King Classic to help you achieve your goals in game. If you're interested in more guides and content, please help me out by subscribing to this channel, and you can also watch me stream live here on YouTube and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Slashoom. This guide is for any level 80 that is looking for ways to make gold in Phase 1 of Wrath of the Lich King Classic. If you're watching this video in a later phase, some of these gold farms will not be as lucrative, and you'll see why here in a minute. This guide will cover open world farming, solo dungeon farming, general gold making tips, and some Death Knight specific farming tips. Stick around to the end of the video where I will share some additional gold farming tips that will last through most of the expansion. Let's get started. For open world farming, you have quite a few options. You can hit the elementals around the Sons of Hodir dailies. These drop Eternal Earths and Eternal Fires, as well as the big moneymaker Relics of Ulduar. These are used to power level Sons of Hodir rep, which many people are still working on. I was getting upwards of 1500 gold per hour farming these last few weeks. It is a well-known spot, and relic prices have dropped, but this farm is still pretty good. I was out there again today, and actually a lot of farmers aren't doing this anymore, so it might be worth checking out. Another spot in Storm Peaks is right below Ulduar. This is a good farm if you're an engineer because you will get extra loot and engineering mats which you can then sell. You can also farm in Valkyron. The spot gets popular when the daily quest is up, but the mobs do usually hyperspawn, so it's not really a problem. Heading over to Borean Tundra, you can farm the Murlocs in the Winterfen village. They will drop clams that have a chance to drop a Siren's Tear. These are currently selling for about 200 gold on my realm. The Murlocs also drop Winterfen clams, so if you do the quest chain here, you can trade 100 of them for a Siren's Tear from. Another good spot is to farm the fire elementals in Wintergrasp for eternal fires. You can also get fire gas clouds here while you are farming if you are an engineer. And lastly, you can always just do daily quests or do any quests that you didn't finish while you were leveling. You likely have thousands of gold worth of quests that you just haven't done yet. For me personally, I know I have complete zones that I haven't touched, and just thousands of gold worth of quests waiting to be done. Open world is competitive and will fluctuate depending on server size and how good you are at mob tagging. For some non-competitive gold farms, some classes like Death Knight and Paladin can solo farm dungeons and raids. Some good options are Halls of Stone, Halls of Lightning, and Karazhan. For Halls of Stone and Halls of Lightning, the big moneymaker is still Relics of Ulduar and Disenchanting Greens. You can also get lucky with a previs BOE that might sell for a lot. This farming was up to 1000 gold per hour, but it is likely a little bit less now because it is tied to the price of the relics. Karazhan is still an option, clearing the trash outside Morose in the lobby. If you have a Disenchanter, you can make over 500 gold an hour doing this. And another good spot is Botanica, and again, it's better if you have a Disenchanter because TBC enchanting mats are very expensive right now. And you'll see later in the video one of the tips we talk about looking at some of the old TBC mats, and the prices are just nuts. Some additional farming tips: check the AH for prices on old classic mats and TBC mats. A lot of these are very expensive and easy to farm. Like right now, wool cloth is selling more than frostweave cloth. Check out the vendor in Hala. You can DE these greens for Greater Planar Essence. No joke, you can get over 16,000 gold per hour doing this. You can get up to 9 Greater Planar Essence from DEing the greens on this vendor. This isn't clickbait. Sure, you can't just sit here and grind it out for an hour, but when you calculate the amount of time you're spending and the amount of gold you're making, if you pop in here every 30 minutes and do this, you're going to be making a lot of gold. As a rule of thumb, it's usually better to DE greens over vendoring, so if you are getting BOEs, make sure you send them to an enchanter. It's good to learn cooking and fishing on as many alts as you can. This can save you a lot of gold and make you a lot of gold. Food prices are crazy and they are gated right now. Buy low, sell high. Pay attention to when demand is high for items and when it's low. Stock up when it's low and offload when it's high. Pay attention to when people are raiding, when people get done with raiding, when they're upgrading their gear, when they're trying to stock up for pre-raid. All of those things can help you know when to sell and when to buy. Check out farming gas clouds. If you have a Zap Throttle mode extractor and you're an engineer, you can get gas clouds in Northrend. Just make sure you're wearing your goggles so you can see them. If you're still farming the Tiger Mountains EG, like I am unfortunately, you can pick up fishing and fish up the boss that drops the turtle tome. Now, mages want this because they want to be able to polymorph people into turtles. This can sell for easily for 500 gold, sometimes up to 1,000, and it's really easy to do while you're there if you have fishing. And just some DK farming tips: you can use Death and Decay to pull instead of using it for AoE damage. You can also use Taunt to aggro mobs or bring them closer in range if they are out of range of your spells. And don't forget to save some runic power for death coils. They are really good at tagging things from a distance when your death grip is on cooldown. boy have I been busy leveling and getting full tank prebiz for raids and full PvP prebiz for arena, and now working on a DPS gear set, and of course some gold making on the side and working on my super secret alt. But I've got some more guides coming, so please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and
you know what to do.